Coming at number 10, get ready for this. It's Auckland, New Zealand.
And it's a load of shit.
I can't. It's crazy as well. Is I read about another part of when they were making this list was that Auckland moved up in the ranks in the last year by like 20 positions.
What a load of shit.
I don't know how they calculated that because as someone who's lived in Auckland his whole life pretty much, this city, especially the last few years, has gotten so much shitter.
Yeah.
It's gotten so much shitter. And it still hasn't recovered from COVID. Like the city is still like the CBD is a mess.
It's the worst it's ever going to be.
It's terrible.
I think it's. I think it probably could get better in time, but man,
so much work is needed to be done.
Auckland is destroyed.
It is destroyed.
Everything that I don't know. I reckon I won't go into politics, but I reckon our government wrote that piece. It's safe. Like there's no crime.
We have like the highest crime rates at the moment that we've ever seen in the city.
Per capita, New Zealand's out of control. There's stabbings, shootings, everything going on. There's just robbings, broad daylight. The infrastructure's fucked.
We're broke as fuck.
We're broke as hell. And this place is like, it's such a great place. And it's like, and it even says like that the hospitals, the medical, our medical sector is stuffed.
Everyone's left.
It's stuffed.
Everybody's left. All of our, like literally, honestly, like we're not talking shit here. You can look it up and you can find in the medical field, all of our nurses, a lot of doctors have all left to go to Australia and all that. And there's been loads of pieces written and spoken about it. But the reason is that being a nurse is fucking hard work. We all know that. But it's like the pay, the hours, the support you get. It's like not, from what I've read, it looks really bad. So everyone's moving. And I'm like, I fucking get it. I would. It's a hard fucking job.
I'm going to move. Like, that's the thing. It's like when I'm sorting some things out at the moment, but I'm out of here. Like, this country is broken, and New Zealand, Auckland specifically, it's fucked.
Like, I guess if you compare it, like, if we're looking at, like, the top 10, like, in the world.
Yeah,
like,
but number 10.
Number 10, but in the world, like, it's just that, I just can't believe that.
What they say on the list is, like, read out what does it say? The
overview?
Yeah. Out of 100, it says
for index, so it's 96%. But then it's like, stability is 95, healthcare 95, culture and environment 97.9, education 100, which is also not true. Infrastructure. So this list, honestly, like
the Labour government wrote it.
We need to. Well, maybe we need to be a little bit careful of this list. Well, I mean, at that point, if you really want to be like, did the Labour government write it or did the left write it? I'm surprised that China is not up here, and I'm surprised that like most dictatorships, like it's, anyway, that's another.
Someone on the left wrote that.
But well, I don't know. I wonder. Yeah, well, it's meant to be written by a lot of people who've collaborated, but the rest of the list can make sense. But this is just Auckland. So
Auckland. We can speak specifically on Auckland.
We can only really speak on that, but we both disagree, and there's
well, New Zealand disagrees. It's not just us. It's the whole of New Zealand going. Country's stuffed.
It's a mess. Especially like honestly, Auckland is it's from what was a bustling city. Well, for New Zealand, and was let's say
it was a freaking awesome place, dude. Like even a few years ago, before the whole
COVID,
pandemic or whatever it was, it still had its issues. Like,
well, it was always the.
But you remember
where we grow too quick with the population. It was very hard to keep up with.
But hospitals still work. Nurses had a pretty good job. The CBD was booming. Do you remember that? You walked down Green Street.
It was so busy.
It was humming.
It was so busy.
Fucking ghost town. Yeah. Full of crime. And it's...
Yeah, the homeless took over. No, like legit. Like I lived in the city for a year. I got to see all of that right in my face.
Yeah.
And it never happened before. Like not on that level.
And now all over Auckland, it's just literally all the doctors and nurses have left. And it is just crime every day. The amount of shootings and stabbings,
robberies, carjackings,
and then carjackings and robberies, it's broad daylight because our police aren't allowed to do anything about it.
And it's also our the drug use and like pee distribution and stuff is even more intense.
Which our government gave millions of dollars.
Well, that was to the
mongrel mob, to a gang.
Hamilton. But the other thing that I find crazy, which I saw, which I hadn't seen ever in my lifetime, is I remember in my apartment, I was looking out the window, and the gangs were driving into the city with all their patches. I had never seen this before. I think the last time this might have been the 90s when they were distributing and running like Fort Street and all that shit. Like Fort Street Union was a big one. I think Mongrel Mob Black Power. Don't quote me, but I've heard about this.
Just on that, how it says school, like even in it's not just Auckland, like New Zealand. They had their funeral last week. They closed down a whole town for a gang member that died. Let's shut all the schools, shut all the businesses because we've got to look after the gangs. Nice. And it's just like, that's New Zealand. It's corrupt as it's fucking bad. Yeah. It's really bad, and I have no interest in staying in this country much longer. We'll still do the podcast though, because thanks for the fucking interwebs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see it for what it is, and so many thousands of other people did.
So many people have left,
and they just left.
I don't know what the stats are for people leaving New Zealand. I don't know, especially Auckland, but it would be a lot.
It's gonna be.
I mean, already just in my friend group that I know of, over half of them have gone either to the UK or Australia.
Yeah,
but I mean that's not just because that also for traveling and other things, but it's like also because it's like well, why would you stay?